Hey, Dan.
Hey,
Well, we got volume and video already.
good. Brilliant.
All right. So how's it going?
Not too bad, yeah. Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm good here.
Good, good.
So how's this?
Um, well, there's been there's been a bit of turbulence in life in life.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah, just like relationship things.
Okay.
Yeah, girlfriend trouble. So yeah, there's been a sort of return of there's been quite a bit of trying to sort of grasp it with mind really. Back to sort of old patterns a bit. But funny though,
That
funny. Yeah, I was gonna say what we were saying about before between thought, no thought.
yes.
Well, it's been caught up in all this story, this drama, and then
Okay.
I DJ,
Okay.
sort of as a hobby and stuff.
All
Anyway, I was
right.
just doing it before this, and
Okay.
I was trying to do it, and it was all like trying to do it with my head. And
Uh-huh.
then this thought came, what's between thought and no thought, and I absolutely it was beautiful. There was just no Dan, and I even recorded it as well, and it was lovely. So yeah,
So how is this now?
um, feels fine as it is. Feel a bit hot, but
Well, what is it about this that's always okay? Like infinitely okay.
well, it's bizarre because like prior to this call, there's been this sort of again like, what is this? Where is this? Where am I? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's between Dan and no Dan? And then just here with you, and it's just this sort of radiance again. It's just bizarre. I
Isn't it
can't.
bizarre? Isn't it bizarre?
Yeah.
It's
Again.
totally bizarre.
Yeah. But it's just so strange. This is the thing that seems to frustrate me. Is like
Who
it's
who
yeah,
who gets
e-
frustrated?
exactly. Yeah,
Does
me.
this get frustrated?
No,
Is there any frustration there?
no,
Yeah. No, it's no way.
no, no.
No way. It's
It's just
just the
yeah,
it's just the thought of Dan and all of its accoutrements, its life, apparent life,
yeah,
that feels what it feels when it feels it. But
yeah.
it has nothing to do with this feeling or
No,
with what this is doing.
no.
This is always this,
Yeah,
no matter what the thoughts are doing.
yeah. No, it's bizarre. It's to the fact that it was just like sort of power in a way. Like I can't explain it, but it's a sort of it's a vibration, is how I would explain whatever's happening.
That
Yeah.
words don't work.
No, they don't.
We keep using them. Somehow they they're useful, uh, but they have totally no use in explaining this. All
No.
they can do is all they can do is like try. They're trying,
Yeah.
constantly trying, but they don't explain.
No.
They don't understand. They don't explain. They don't describe. They're just like they're just shadowy attempts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It it's and that's just this. That's the way that's the way
Mm.
it is.
Yeah.
Wherever wherever it where however it's being seen, it's that way.
Yeah.
And it's always been that way. It will always be that way, no matter what the thoughts are up to, or what they're trying to create.
Yeah. It's as if though it's so strange how a story it appears like it pulls you in so hard, you know? It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, who's telling the story and who's listening?
exactly. Yeah.
Is this telling any stories?
No,
Are there any stories there?
not now.
Do
Oh,
do
oh
do do any stories even matter?
no, no, no,
Yeah,
but that's what's so crazy. It's like I was thinking, oh God, I've got to see Steve on Saturday, and all these stories are coming back, and it's not going to look like I've done my homework or something. You know, all these stories that
yeah.
it's bizarre, it's crazy, and then yeah, it's
It
the
doesn't
same as
matter.
no,
All the stories, whatever the thoughts were telling themselves or worried about themselves,
yeah,
doesn't matter. It's Are there any thoughts now?
no. There's a slight nervousness, but not like yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, last time you were talking about a kind of tenseness that
yeah,
was there. Is that
yeah.
is that still there?
I breathe it subtly. It's not strong. No.
Okay. It's just another thought.
Yeah. It's when
It's
it's when there's an inward looking. It seems that there's it seems like this. Um. Well, it's trying to make a story. I guess it's trying to look
well, who's looking? Who's looking? Who's
nothing.
looking in? Who's looking inward?
I guess it's just a sense. I guess it's I don't, well this. Or is it awareness? I guess it's that it feels like it's me trying to say I'm here.
Okay.
Or
So
do you? Or
so so who's me? Yeah, thought thought is struggling to find a place to put its foot,
mm,
to stand up, to to find its footing again
mm,
in this or with this, or it thinks it saw this. Now what?
yeah,
It Thoughts will just keep doing what they do,
mm,
and until they don't.
yeah,
And this, when this is seeing this, thoughts don't matter. They you, this sees that thoughts don't matter.
mm,
This
mm,
sees that there's no use for them. This sees that they're irrelevant. That this sees that the thoughts are not are not even talking. Thoughts are not even making words. That words are just coming out of this. That words just come out of this somehow. Knowing this seems to know how to say those words without any thought. There's only this. There's no longer, okay, is there a Dan there?
He's trying to come in. He's trying to
Okay.
join the party.
Yeah. So when this is there is no
No.
Dan, there is no personality, there is no separation. It's just this.
Yeah.
This indescribable thisness. It's always there. It's always, you might say, home. It's always home. Somehow it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And yet thoughts will always attempt to be.
Yeah.
Dan, thoughts as Dan, or Dan as thoughts will always attempt to be until they don't, until they.
Yeah. So all Steve thoughts, there's no Steve thoughts.
There's there are thoughts here, but they're less and less and less. They're
Yeah.
just getting less.
Yeah.
So we were talking the first time that there is a kind of a deepening.
Yeah. I remember you.
As this is seen, there's a kind of a deepening or a kind of a unfolding or a letting go or something. Again, it's just words. And as this keeps doing this,
Yeah.
things just keep changing somehow.
Yeah.
And at the same time, no matter what the thoughts are doing, this is always there. The thoughts can never see it. The thoughts can never be it.
No.
Yet it's always there, just simply there, just always simply. It may only take a look out the window at here, a look out the window at this flowering tree across the street.
Yeah.
And this is just there. It's just this. And the thoughts, well, they may attempt to say something here and there, but they just become more and more irrelevant.
Yeah.
More and more useless because this doesn't need them. It doesn't need them. It already has everything.
Yeah.
So maybe the story would be that maybe the thoughts are maybe the thoughts start to see that they're useless, and then they all that kind of stuff. Because
Yeah.
when Steve had his experiences, there was the thoughts came up with a story about, oh well, this happened. We had Steve was disappearing, and then he went and then did this and that, and then we went to retreats with Emerson, and the thoughts were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It was just, basically that's just more thoughts thinking
Yeah.
that they were having that experience.
Yeah. The
Uh,
troublemakers thoughts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now looking at that story now,
Yeah.
it's here. It's not the memories are even going away. That it doesn't even uh, seem useful to
Mm.
really to tell that story anymore,
Right.
because it doesn't now seeing things now or seeing
Yeah.
things this way,
Mm.
uh,
Yeah.
that really isn't even what happened. It's just a story,
Yeah.
because this is already here. It never was not here. It never was not here.
Mm.
It's always been here. Now that's the way it's seen.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's just
Mm.
very different.
Mm.
It's very different. And at the same time, everything looks the same. And at the same time, uh, this this has it has it has a way, okay? And
Mm.
we use words to kind of try and describe the way it is,
Yeah.
like well, it's the same, and yet uh it has a real and an unreal kind of sense to it. It has kind of it's familiar, recognizable, and yet at the same time, uh, it it always seems new. These are all words trying to
Yeah.
explain
Yeah.
this, which
Yeah.
doesn't explain. It just doesn't explain,
Yeah.
and yet it's okay. It doesn't need any help. Uh, uh, you know, the thoughts would always find things that need to be changed or
Yeah.
improved, or
Oh yeah.
yeah, it
Mm.
but there's no need. This is not uh you know this is not broken. It doesn't need to be fixed. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be helped. It doesn't need to be. And yet at the same time, there are things that get done, right?
Mm. Right.
Like uh, there's still work here, work being done,
Right.
uh, bills to be paid, all that.
Yeah.
Okay, the old chop wood, carry water
Yeah.
thing.
Mm.
It keeps happening. You know, neighbors may need help,
Yeah.
right? or somebody will get sick and something needs to be done about somebody being sick, or maybe, you know, somebody gets lost, or somebody has an accident, or whatever. Stuff just happens, and then there's a reaction to it. There's a reaction, and it gets done somehow. Stuff gets done, and it's just this being this.
Yeah. And it's done better than it was before.
Yeah. because there's there's when this is doing it, it's perfect. When the thoughts are doing it, then you have war.
Yeah.
Then you have, you know, all this stuff that doesn't work so well.
It's just, you just always, it's these sort of two opposing thoughts or views, and it's just, it's
Yeah. So it's just fine, for lack of another word. It's just,
yeah. Would you say it's like, was it like the end of the sort of nervous system, feeling that kind of, like the me is aware as a sort of central nervous system thing, No?
well, who's looking?
Yeah.
There's a difference between someone looking.
Yeah.
Usually the thoughts are looking,
Yeah.
and just seeing. Just this seeing. This sees this. The way that this sees this.
Yeah.
That may, part of that seeing may be have something to do with what the body is doing. But then the thoughts will come in and want to put some meaning on it.
It's crazy when you question like that. That's when there's this, I can't explain it, but when you said something just then about, the looking from me, and there's just seeing, again, there's that,
Yeah.
it's just radiance sort of happens. Yeah.
So
And then it's like
what
that, that's speaking, that's everything. And suddenly it's bizarre how every time you question me like that, it's almost like this.
So what else is seen then?
It's hard to explain, but it's like, it's just, all I can say is it's like a radiance, which that feels like there's all that there is, rather than a box on my head.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, I've got all my heads tingling again, like last time.
Ah,
And last time when I was looking out, when I was talking to you, I was looking into the garden, and I know everything looked the same, but in a way it was sort of wavy a bit. There was a bit of a not so real.
yeah.
Like an apparent. I guess that's the apparent. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's this. That's this. We talk about thought being an illusion
Yeah.
of the thought world, or the thought life, or the thought person,
Yeah.
being illusory.
Yeah.
Okay. So this itself has kind of illusory quality itself.
Yeah.
The waviness, the
like dreamlike in a way. Yeah. A bit dreamy, like, yeah.
yes, it can be like that. It can be kind of well, kind of like not solid not solid looking, or
Yeah.
solid and not solid at the same time, or
Mm. Yeah.
and and here Steve had a big interest in quantum physics,
Mm.
in quantum mechanics,
Yeah.
where where science is looking at this, at life on the microscopic level, and it is just like we're talking. It is uh, it has life at that level has kind of an illusory quality, uh, uh, and not solid quality.
Yeah.
But again, uh, science is attempting to explain it, understand it, uh, and and they're they haven't acknowledged it so much yet, but they're not able to explain it.
No.
And we're talking at this point about it being unexplainable,
Mm.
the way that we talk about it here.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of standing outside of it or something.
Well,
Well,
they
or-
they find ways to uh, try and pin things down
yeah.
and explain them, but then uh, that that seems endless.
Mm.
That process
Yeah.
seems to be endless.
Yeah.
So it's just uh, it's just interesting that is what is seen
Mm.
when this is seen.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what else is being seen there by this?
Just breathing. Um,
What else does this look like, or seem like, or is noticed? What else is this noticing about itself?
just a peace, really. Just yeah, it's a just a calmness. Yeah, there's not
Yeah. Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's no matter what's happening, it's always there.
Yeah, it's funny, like a silence. Yeah, like yeah, no noise in the head. Anyway.
Okay. Some people say that they hear a buzzing sound, maybe.
No, it's funny. There's still this tingling. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, like a glow.
Okay. Well, it's being seen. It's always there. it never actually is not there. So no matter what the thoughts are doing, in their belief that they're seeing this,
Yeah.
that's just a way to get footing, to get their
Yeah.
footing again.
Yeah. There's this sense here at the moment that I've got to get away. There's a feeling of, yeah, well, I better not. Yeah, there is a sort of, I can feel something that's wanting to pull away. It's wanting to,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's hoping to get its attention.
Mm,
It's trying to get its attention by looking into the future
yeah.
or saying something about the past. And this is still there.
Yeah. It's funny. It's actually saying this is too much. It's,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. It's saying this is too intense. You know, I need to
Yeah.
go back to safety.
Okay. So it's scaring itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Well, it doesn't feel scary. It just feels like there's a, I don't know. It's weird because when there is that seeing like that, it's like we're saying, it feels like home. But at the moment, I've got something coming in saying we need to go back home.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll Thoughts will keep doing that
Yeah.
until they don't do it.
No. It feels like like the brain, the muscle in the head that's kind of trying to, like, you know,
You
come back.
see, you see how good it is at attracting its attention.
It's good at its job. Yeah.
It thinks it's got a job, right? You know,
Yeah.
Steve did like 40 years of this certain kind of uh, counseling.
Oh yeah.
Was called Live Now Life Counseling.
Oh,
Uh, it was something uh, that he learned from somebody that he met, and
right.
just uh, ended up, that person passed away, and so Steve ended up doing it as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
And part of that process was talking to the thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the the thoughts were given a name, like brain,
Yeah.
and so when the thoughts said something like, "Oh my God, I can't do that,"
Mm.
then Steve would say, "Oh, what are you talking about, brain? You're not me." So
Oh
there would be like talking directly to the thoughts out loud,
yeah.
and whatever the thoughts say, basically the thoughts are not us.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that you do this. This is just a story.
Therapy. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
just story. So I'm not going to go into it too much, but what I'm going to say here is that, so that's just that's just another way of thinking, because
Mm.
got another airplane going over here. Because just like with awareness or meditation, there's still someone observing, right?
Yeah.
There's still an observer. So Steve was observing what the thoughts were saying, but there was still an observer there. And guess what the observer is?
Yeah.
It's just another thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now Steve doesn't even talk this therapy anymore.
No.
Okay. The thoughts will just do what they do. And the more that they do it, the less relevant they're seen to be. And they just become less, until
Yeah.
they're not.
Mm.
And the whole, all, as all the time, there's always this there.
Yeah.
and when the thoughts come in, they'll be seen as thoughts and not as this.
Mm.
And this can always be seen between
Yeah.
the thoughts, between whatever the thoughts are saying,
Yeah.
between worry and confidence, or whatever,
Mm.
between uh, anxiety and calmness. Whatever the thoughts are saying, this can be seen between the thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's a big openness.
Yeah,
And that's what's going on. It seems like is this openness,
yeah,
and me wants to come back because it feels like it has to be there for me to survive or to get along,
yeah.
And yet there's this openness that's
That doesn't need any help,
no,
doesn't need any more,
no,
doesn't need any
no,
commentary. It doesn't even need anyone to talk about it. It could care less if anybody, or if it's seen by itself. Although there seems to be an increased interest
oh
in that.
yeah,
This doesn't care. It just is.
mm,
It just is wonderfully the way it is. Pretty simple, huh?
yeah,
It's pretty basic. It's somehow got overlooked by something that you might say wasn't even there either.
yeah. something that thinks it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it certainly created a big thing out of itself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah. 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 It's amazing how it, yeah, it just builds its own trauma, really, doesn't it? It creates its own problems.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
it creates, you might say it creates everything. It creates its own world.
Mm, mm,
It creates its own universe,
yeah.
even.
Mm,
And you know, it that's that's where most people are living, in their own self-created universes.
mm,
And
yeah.
it's all unnecessary. It's all uh,
Mm,
irrelevant. It's all uh, illusion. It's all
yeah.
unneeded,
Mm,
because this is already here and it's already everything.
mm, yeah.
Like animals, animals are this.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
already this. They're not trying to make uh, themselves into something else,
no.
or they're not trying to make selves.
No. Yeah. They just want to eat, sleep.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
yeah. And at the same time, they're animals. Each animal is has um, a like each animal's different. You know,
Yeah.
all each cat is different from the other cats. Each dog is different from the other dogs, and yet they're all dogs. They're all cats,
Mm,
just being cats.
yep.
It's the same for people. This is apparently 8 billion people or so,
Mm,
and they're all different.
yeah.
And, and they all, in this case, on Earth, they all think they have separate lives that they're responsible for. They all
Mm,
think they are separate selves,
yeah.
but they're all just this
Mm,
in 8 billion different ways.
yeah. Yeah.
So, what are the thoughts saying now?
It's funny. They're commenting on the fact that the glow seems to have gone away a bit.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they're thinking that they were seeing this and glowing.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
They think that they did. Yeah. I
yeah.
think. Yeah.
And then as they continue thinking that, then they'll get concerned about finding it again
Yeah.
when it's no longer there,
Hmm.
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that so they end up spending a lifetime seeking for something that they once had but lost,
Yeah.
apparently lost. Yeah, how about those thoughts?
Yeah.
So how's the feeling now there?
There's um there's a bit of tension,
Uh-huh.
um, but Yeah, there's no particular strong. There's no. Yeah, there's not a thinking mechanism really going on again.
Okay.
It's yeah.
It's
No,
it's not.
you seem to stun. Well, this when we talk, it seems to stun it. So if I bring up that it's flapping around, it seems something slaps it. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it can't be there, right?
yeah,
It it talks on either side about what it thinks it's experiencing
right.
about this, and yet it can't be there. It can't be in the middle.
No,
It can only be over here in the past,
yeah,
over here in the future,
yeah,
and say what it says about what it thinks it's experiencing.
mm,
And it misses the experience, or let's say it misses this,
mm,
totally
yeah,
misses it. It totally
yeah,
misses it.
yeah. It's as if it stops and looks for where
Yeah,
it is. Well,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Just the looking, just the
yeah,
looking is all it takes
yeah.
for it to put its foot down.
That's right. Yeah, I've got to be safe. I can't fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So it it just cannot, it cannot step in the middle. It can only step on the outside,
mm,
on either side.
mm, yeah,
It's not possible for thought to be in the middle.
no,
Or you might say it's not possible for thought to be present.
mm, yeah,
It's not possible for thought to be here.
no,
It can only be on the outside,
mm,
looking in,
yeah,
seeing what it thinks it sees, attracting its own attention,
yeah,
so we can get lost
mm,
in thought
mm,
some way.
yeah,
And this, no matter what's going on, is already always here.
mm,
Effortlessly.
yeah,
How are you feeling now? Or how is this feeling now?
yeah. I can't really say.
Yeah,
Speechless. Yeah,
it is speechless, really.
yeah, yeah. Wordless. Yeah, yeah,
And yet it just is really, in a sense, it's substantial. It's profound, profoundly simple,
mm,
substantially insubstantial.
yeah,
And when it speaks, when this speaks,
yeah,
the words are clear. The words, when this really speaks,
mm,
the words just come out fine. And when they come out, if there's a sense that's known
Yeah.
about the words.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Don't need to be thought about first. They just come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's happening. It never has to not happen.
No.
It's good talking with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Is that an hour? Oh wow.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
So just keep being this, no matter what the thoughts say. They're basically nothing. They're harmless except to themselves.
Yeah. That's right.
This is always here. And this is infinite and indestructible. Did you hear that motorcycle go by?
I did. Yeah.
It went by this morning at about 7 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh no. That's too
So
early.
got pretty noisy.
Yeah.
So you might say you're home and you don't have to leave. In quotes, you're
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
After all, it's what we were all born as. It's what we were all born
Yeah.
seeing.
Yeah.
So why not call it home?
Yeah.
Okay, Dan,
All right, Steve.
it's a joy to talk,
Yeah. Thank you.
and we can talk anytime if you wish.
Sure. Yeah.
Otherwise, just keep going.
Sure.
Okay.
Cheers, Steve.
Okay. See you.
See you.
Oh, do you mind? I didn't ask you last time. Do you mind if I publish this?
Oh, that's fine. Of course it is.
Okay.
No
Okay.
problem. And
Okay.
I'll donate as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you